Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We'll start with Tilawat Quran by Ali Asgar Chinwala. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We'll start with Tilawat Quran.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنحر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العلي العظيم. يا سيد الشهداء خامس أهل الكساء على عظيم بلاء نالك في كربلاء طول زمان بكائي ولا فتى يا حسين يا سيد الشهداء فلك الحسين بكربلاء ملك الحسين بكربلاء نسك الحسين بكربلاء مسك الحسين بكربلاء أبكي مولاي الحسين أفديك مولاي الحسين مولاي مولاي يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين يا حسين.
Good evening to one and all present over here. Before the start of this event, I would like to share a thought. The world is full of diamonds and gems, and we are here having some of them today to make this event grand, successful, and exciting. With this note, I would like to give my heartiest welcome to our title sponsor, MS Tools and Hardware, represented by Murtaza Bhai Attari Wala, followed by other captains and owners. We welcome you all to the auction of Burhani Premier League 2019, which is being held at Presidency Club. Chennai. We would like to start the proceeding by taking blessing from His Holiness Dr. Sayyidina Mufaddal Saifuddin Sahib Tawwala Umru Sharif, who has taught and preached us the importance of sports and fitness in today's hectic life schedule. Before we begin, we would once again like to thank Anjumani Mohammadi and Anjumani Waji and our sponsors, team owners and well-wishers for making BPL Season 4 a reality. Now, moving on, please give a huge round of applause to our captain this year, starting from AS Haji, Shining Star, Burhani Chargers. Captain Hussain Darbar, owner Uzabai Darbar. And now let us introduce the person without whom this auction is not possible. The man to send everyone under the hammer, the auctioneer, Hatim Bambod. Over to Hatim to continue now.
Thank you, Mustansir, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone. I'll be your auctioneer for today. I hope all the captains and their owners have gone through the auction rules. They have understood the bidding process and they have prepared well for today's auction. All the best, and without wasting any more time, we'll straight away go to the auction. We'll start with the first list, which is of base 5,000 points and has players from Chennai. You ready? Okay. First name in the list is Huzefa Rangwala. Huzefa Rangwala, base value at 5,000 points. Huzefa Rangwala. Huzefa Rangwala, Safi Scotches, they have started off the bid at 5,000 points. Do I see 7,500 for Huzefa Rangwala? 7,500. A young left-arm spinner. He was a part of Dubai's team. He represented Chennai. 7,500. Do I see 7,500 for Huzefa Rangwala? Huzefa Rangwala for 7,500. 5,000 is a throwaway price for Huzefa Rangwala. Do I see a bid for 7,500? Going once? Fakhru is looking interested, taking some advice from his co-owner. 10,000, Mustafa Basu from Hakimi Super Kings, 10,000. The bid is with Hakimi Super Kings at 10,000. Do I see 12,500? Tiary Tigers? 12,500. 12,500 with Burhani charges. 12,500 Burhani charges. The next bid is for 15,000. Do I see a bid for 15? Huzefa Rangwala for 15K. 15,000. Adnan bhai? No? 12,500 with Burhani charges. Going once. Twice. Awarded to Burhani charges for 12,500. Huzefa Rangwala. Next, we have Mustansir Manlewala. Mustansir Manlewala at 5,000 points. The hard hitting Mustansir by Manlewala. Starting with Safi Scotches 5,000 points. 7-5 for Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 10? 10,000 for Mustansir Manlewala. Mustansir Manlewala at 10,000. 10,000 for Mustansir Manlewala. 10,000 Safi Scotches. The bid is with Safi Scotches at 10,000. Hakimi Super Kings. 12,500 for Hakimi Super Kings. 12,500 Hakimi Super Kings. Is there a bid for 15? Adnan bhai, your could be teammate. 15,000 for Safi Scotches. The bid is with Safi Scotches as 15,000. Do I see a bid for 17,500? 17,500 with Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings 17,500. Safi Scotches, are you out? Are you out from the bid? Are you interested? You are holding. Okay. 17,500. 17,500. Do I see a bid for 17,500? The bid is with Hakimi Super Kings at 15k. Going once? 17,500 Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches at 17,500. Hakimi, the ball is in your court. Do you want to go up to 20,000? Do I say a bid for 20? For Mustansir Manlewala. I can see the ball going out of the park, Mustafa, with Mustansir by Manlewala in your batting lineup. 20,000 for Mustansir Manlewala. 17,500 going once. 20,000 with Hakimi Super Kings. Now this is getting interesting now. 20,000 for Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 22,500? 22,500. Safi Scotches. 22,500. 20,000. The bid is with Hakimi Super Kings. Going once. Twice. 20,000. 20,000 for Safi Scotches. 22,500. I'm sorry. 22,500 with Safi Scotches. The bid is with Safi Scotches at 22,500. Is there a bid for 25,000? Atomy Hurricanes, 25,000 for Mustansir Manlewala. Dowdy, 25 for Hakimi Super Kings. The bid is at 25,000 for Mustansir Manlewala for Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 27,500? 27,500 Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches, 27,500. Is there a bid for 30,000? Hakimi Super Kings. Is there a bid for 30,000? Going once? Twice? 30,000. 30,000 with Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings, 30,000 for Mustansir Manlewala. Is there a bid for 32,500? Safi Scotches. Are we going to see a bid from you? 30,000 for Hakimi Super Kings. Going once? Twice? 32,500. Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches at 32,500. The next bid is for 35,000. The next bid is for 35,000. Hakimi Super Kings. 35,000 with Hakimi Super Kings. The bid is with Hakimi Super Kings at 35,000. Is there a bid for 37,500? Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches. 37,500. Going once. Twice. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings for 35,000 points. Mustansir Manlewala allotted to Hakimi Super Kings for 35,000 points. Next, Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. Starting at 5,000 points, Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. The bid is with Dowdy Dashes for 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Dowdy Dashes. 7,500. Do I see a 7,500? Do I see 7,500 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala? Hussaini Warriors? 7,500. Different Abdul. 7,500 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. Do I see a bid for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala at 7,500? Going once, twice, 7,500 and 10,000 with Tayari Tigers. The bid is with 10,000, 12,500 for Dawudi Dashes. 12,500 for Dawudi Dashes. 12,500 Dawudi Dashes. Do I see a bid for 12,500? The bid for 15, Hatimi Hurricanes. The bid is with Hatimi Hurricanes for 15,000. Is there a bid for 17,500? Is there a bid for 17,500? 17,500 Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches 17,500. 20,000. Is there a bid for 20,000? Dawudi. 20,000 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. Tayari Tigers. 20,000 Dawudi Dashes. The bid is with Dawudi Dashes at 20,000. 22,500. Do I see a pattern for 22,500? Abdul Qadir Asmarwala 22,500. 22,500 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. 20,000 going. 22,500 Hatimi Hurricanes. 25,000 Safi Scotches. 27,500 for Dawudi Dashes. 27,500 for Dawudi Dashes. Do I see a bid for 30,000? Do I see a bid for 30,000? 27,500 for Dawudi Dashes. Going once. Twice. 30,000. 32,500 for Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes 32,500. The bid is with Hatimi Hurricanes at 32,500. Hatimi Hurricanes over here. 32,500. Hatimi Hurricanes. Do I see a bid for 35? Safi, Dawudi. 35 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. 35,000. 32,500 going once. Going twice. 35 for Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches 35,000. 37,500 Dawudi Dashes. 37,500 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. 35. The bid is with Safi Scotches at 35,000. 35 going once. 37,500 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes 37,500. They have bid at 37,500 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. Do I see a bid for 40,000? 40,000 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. 37,500 Safi Scotches. Dawudi Dashes. 40,000. 40,000 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. 37,500 going once. Twice. Awarded to Hatimi Hurricanes for 37,500. 37,500 for Abdul Qadir Asmarwala. Next, Mohammad Baruchwala. Mohammad Baruchwala. Starting at 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Mohammad Baruchwala. Do I see a bid for Mohammad Baruchwala at 5,000 points? 5,000 points for Mohammad Baruchwala. Just the opening bid. 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Mohammad Baruchwala. Mohammad Baruchwala for 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Mohammad Baruchwala. Do I say a bid for Mohammad Baruchwala at 5,000 points? Okay. 5,000 points Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches 5,000 points. Is there a bid for 7,500? 7,500 for Mohammad Baruchwala. 7,500 for Mohammad Baruchwala. 5,000 going once. Twice. Last call. awarded to Safi Scotchers for 5,000 points. Mohammad Baruchwala is awarded to Safi Scotchers for 5,000 points. Next on the list is Abdul Qadir Blue. Abdul Qadir Blue at 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Abdul Qadir Blue. Abdul Qadir Blue. Hussaini Warriors have started the bid at 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 5,000 points. Teams left out are Hussaini Warriors, Dawoodi Dashers and Tyri Tigers. Hussaini Warriors at 5,000 points. 7-5 for Dawoodi Dashers. 7-5 for Dawoodi Dashers. 10 for Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors 10,000. 12,500 Dawoodi Dashers. Information being passed through by co-owner of Dawoodi Dashers. 10,000. 12,500 Dawoodi Dashers. The bid is with Dawoodi Dashers at 12,500. Do I see 15? 15K for Hussaini Warriors. 15,000 Hussaini Warriors. Do I see a bid for 17,500? 15K for Hussaini Warriors. Do I see a bid for 17,500? 15 going once. Twice. 17,500 Dawoodi Dashers. Dawoodi Dashers 17,500. The bid is with Dawoodi Dashers at 17,500. Do I see a bid for 20,000? 20,000 for Abdul Qadir Blue. 20,000 for Abdul Qadir Blue. Hussaini Warriors, are you in the bid? For 20K. 20,000. Only 20,000 points. Only 20,000 points. Tyri Tigers. 20,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors, the bid is with Hussaini Warriors at 20K. Dawoodi. 22,500. Only 2,500 points. 22,500. No? Tyri Tigers? 20 going once? Twice? Awarded to Hussaini Warriors for 20,000 points. Abdul Qadir Blue for 20K goes to Hussaini Warriors. Next, Hakimuddin Saraya. Hakimuddin Saraya at 5,000 points. Teams left are Dawoodi and Tyri Tigers. 5,000 points for Dawoodi Dashers. Dawoodi Dashers at 5,000 points. 7-5 for Hajjar. Hajjar Tyri Tigers. 7-5 for Hajjar Tyri Tigers. 10,000 for Dawoodi Dashers. 10,000 for Dawoodi Dashers. Dawoodi Dashers at 10,000 points. 12,500. 12,500. 12,500 for Tyri Tigers. 15 for Dawoodi Dashers. 17,500 for Tyri Tigers. 20 for Dawoodi Dashers. 22,500 Tyri Tigers. 25 for Dawoodi Dashers. Dawoodi Dashers at 25. 27,500 Tyri Tigers. The bid is with Tyri Tigers at 27,500. 30,000 for Dawoodi Dashers. 32,500. 32,500 for Tyri Tigers. Hakimuddin Saraya is at 32,500 for Tyri Tigers. Do I say a bid for 35,000? 35,000 for Dawoodi Dashers. 35,000. Going once, twice. Awarded at 35,000 to Dawoodi Dashers. Hakimuddin Saraya is awarded to Dawoodi Dashers for 35,000 points. The last name on the list was Tyri. He is automatically awarded to Tyri Tigers for 5,000 points. With this, we come to the end of the first list. We'll have a small break.
65 वर्षों से देश के पहले और सबसे भरोसेमंद वेल्व्स, लीडर वेल्व्स, superior valves in the country. One of the top names which come to the mind is NVR.
We'll move on to the second list. Captains ready? We'll start the second list. The second list for 4,000 points. 4,000 points, and these are foreign players. Foreign in a sense from Bangalore and Coimbatore. Okay. The first name on the list is Hussain Kalangi, starting at 4,000 points. Hussain Kalangi at 4,000 points. Each team has to select only one player. 4,000 points for Hussain Kalangi. Okay. Hussain Kalangi at 4,000 points. Bangalore. Hussain Kalangi at 4,000 points. Do I see a bid for 4,000 points? Hussain Kalangi. Okay. Next on the list, Juzar Ayub Jodhpurwala. Juzar Ayub Jodhpurwala. Do I see a bid for Juzar Ayub Jodhpurwala? 4,000 points. Sorry. 4,000 points for Juzar Coimbatore. He is from Coimbatore. Juzar Jodhpurwala. 4,000 points. No, we can't. No, no. Okay. Okay. We'll move on to the next player. Murtuza Magda. Bangalore. Murtuza Magda from Bangalore. 4,000 points. Dowdy Dashes has started the bid at 4,000. 6,000 for Tayari Tigers. 8,000 for Hakimi Super Kings. 10,000 for Dowdy Dashes. 12 for Burhani Chargers. 14 for Hakimi Super Kings. 16 for Dowdy Dashes. 18 for Tayari Tigers. 20 for Hakimi Super Kings. 20,000 for Hakimi Super Kings. 22 for Tayari Tigers. 22 for Tayari Tigers. Do I see a bid for 24? 22. The bid is with Tayari Tigers. Do I see a bid for 24? 24,000 for Murtuza Magda. 22 going once. Twice. 24 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings 24,000 points. 26 for Tayari Tigers. Tayari Tigers at 26,000 points for Murtuza Magda. Do I see a bid for 28,000? 28,000 for Murtuza Magda. Do I see a bid for 28,000? The bid is with Tayari Tigers at 26. 26 going once. Twice. 28. 28 for Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings 28,000. Do I see a bid for 30k? 30,000 Tayari Tigers. 28. The bid is with Hakimi Super Kings. Going once. Twice. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings for 28,000 points. Murtuza Magda from Bangalore is awarded to Hakimi Super Kings for 28,000 points. Next, Mustafa Miyajiwala. Mustafa Miyajiwala from Bangalore. At 4,000 points. Mustafa Miyajiwala. Mustafa Miyajiwala at 4,000 points. $4,000 points for Mustafa Miyajiwala. Okay. Yusuf Shabbir Murudwala. Bangalore. Yusuf Shabbir Murudwala. Starting at 4,000 points. Yusuf Murudwala for 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Yusuf Murudwala. Okay. Next, Hussain Kapasi. Hussain Kapasi at 4,000 points. Hussain Kapasi. for 4,000 points. Coimbatore, Hussain Kapasi from Coimbatore, 4,000 points. Do I say a bid for 4,000 points? No, 4,000. The base point is 4,000. Yes, you have to pick only one player. 4,000 points, you have to pick only one player from this group. 4,000 points for Hussain Kapasi. Okay. Next, we have Murtuza Patanwala. Murtuza Patanwala from Bangalore. 4,000 points for Dawoodi Dashes. Murtuza Patanwala. The bid is with Dawoodi Dashes at 4,000 points. Do I say a bid for 6,000? 6,000 for Murtuza Patanwala. Murtuza Patanwala at 6,000. 4,000 going once. Twice. Awarded to Dawoodi Dashes for 4,000 points. Murtuza Patanwala at 4,000 points is awarded to Dawoodi Dashes. Next from Bangalore, Moiz Balisnawala. Moiz Balisnawala at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Moiz Balisnawala. Wicket keeper batsman? Bangalore. All rounder, okay. 4,000 points for Moiz Balisnawala. No. He is selected as all rounder only. He can keep, but Moiz Balisnawala at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Moiz Balisnawala. Do I say a bid for 4,000 points? 4,000 points for Moiz Balisnawala. Moving on, Mohammad Shamaswala. Mohammad Shamaswala from Bangalore at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Mohammad Shamaswala. Do I see a bid for Mohammad Shamaswala? Safi Scotches has started the bid at 4,000. 4,000. 6,000 for Burhani charges. Burhani charges 6,000 for Mohammad Shamaswala. Do I say bid for 8,000? 8,000 for Mohammad Shamaswala. 8,000 Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches at 8,000 points. For Mohammad Shamaswala. Do I say bid for 10,000? Mohammad Shamaswala at 8,000 points. Is there a bid for 10,000 Burhani charges? 10,000 Burhani charges. At 10,000 points for Burhani charges, Mohammad Shamaswala. Is there a bid for 12,000? 12,000 Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches at 12,000 points for Mohammad Shamaswala. Is there a bid for 14? 12 going once. 14,000 for Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 14,000 points. 16 for Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches 16,000 points. Burhani charges, you are out. Safi Scotches at 16,000 points. Do I see a bid for 18? 16 going once. Twice. Awarded at 16,000 points to Safi Scotches. Mohammad Shamaswala, 16,000 points to Safi Scotches. Next, Abizar Magda. Abizar Magda from Bangalore, starting at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Abizar Magda. Abizar Magda at 4,000 points. Do I say a bid for 4,000 points? 4,000 points, Tahiri Tigers. 6,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 6,000 points. 8,000 for Tahiri Tigers. 10,000 for Hussaini Warriors. 12 for Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 12,000 points. 14 for Hussaini Warriors. 16 for Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 16,000 points. 18 for Hussaini Warriors. 20,000 for Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 20,000 points for Abizar Magda. 20,000 points for Abizar Magda. Tahiri Tigers. Is there a bid for 22,000? 22,000 for Abizar Magda. 20 going once. 22 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 22,000 points. Is there a bid for 24,000? 24 Tahiri Tigers. The bid is with Tahiri Tigers at 24,000 points. Hussaini Warriors. Do I say bid for 26? $24. The bid is with Tahiri Tigers at 24,000 points. 24 going once. Twice. Awarded to Tahiri Tigers at 24,000 points. Abizar Magda is awarded to Tahiri Tigers for 24,000 points. Next, Mohammad Dinojwala. Mohammad Dinojwala at 4,000 points. Bangalore. Mohammad Dinojwala from Bangalore at 4,000 points. Teams left to select the player are Burhani Chargers, Hussaini Warriors, and Dawoodi Dashers at 4,000 points. Yes. Dawoodi Dashers. Burhani Chargers, Hatimi Hurricanes, and Hussaini Warriors. Yes. Mohammad Dinojwala at 4,000 points. 4,000 points, Mohammad Dinojwala. Moving on, Tahar Nandarbadwala. Tahar Nandarbadwala at 4,000 points. Tahar Nandarbadwala from Bangalore. Tahar Nandarbadwala from Bangalore at 4,000 points. 4,000 points, Tahar Nandarbadwala. Hussaini Warriors? Hatimi Hurricanes, 4,000 points. Tahar Nandarbadwala. Next, Burhanuddin Rampurwala. Burhanuddin Rampurwala. Burhanuddin Rampurwala from Bangalore. Burhanuddin Rampurwala from Bangalore. 4,000 points. Next, from Coimbatore, Burhanuddin Suttarwala. Starting at 4,000 points, Burhanuddin Suttarwala, Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors have started the bid at 4,000 points. 6,000 for Burhani Chargers. Burhani Chargers at 6,000 points. 8 for Hussaini Warriors. 10 for Burhani Chargers. 12 for Hussaini Warriors. 14 for Burhani Chargers. Burhanuddin Suttarwala, 14,000 for Burhani Chargers. Is there a bid for 16? 16. 16,000 Hussaini Warriors. 18 Burhani Chargers. Burhani Chargers 18,000. Burhanuddin Suttarwala played for Coimbatore in the Dubai tournament. Burhanuddin Suttarwala 20,000 Hussaini Warriors. The bid is with Hussaini Warriors at 22 for Burhani Chargers. Burhani Chargers at 22,000 points. Hatimi Hurricanes not interested in the bid right now. 24 Hussaini Warriors. 26 Burhani Chargers. Burhani Chargers at 26,000 points. 28 Hussaini Warriors. 30,000 for Burhani Chargers. Burhanuddin Suttarwala at 30,000 points. The bid is with Burhani Chargers. 32 Hussaini Warriors. 32,000 Hussaini Warriors. The bid is with Hussaini Warriors at 32,000 points. Is there a bid for 34? Burhani Chargers. 34 Burhani Chargers. 36 Hussaini Warriors. Adnan by testing Fakhru. 36,000 Hussaini Warriors. The bid is with Hussaini Warriors at 36,000 points. Burhani Chargers, 38. Do I see a pattern for 38? 36. 38,000 Burhani Chargers. Burhani Chargers, 38,000 points. 38,000 points, Burhani Chargers. Is there a bid for 40? 40. 38 going once. 40,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 40,000 points. 40,000 points Hussaini Warriors. Going once. Twice. Last opportunity. Awarded to Hussaini Warriors at 40,000 points. Next, Zohar Chini Kamwala from Bangalore at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Zohar Bhai. Hatimi Hurricanes, Burhani Chargers, the only two teams left. Zohar Bhai, Hatimi Hurricanes, 4,000 points. Murtuza Vithodawala. Next we have Murtuza Vithodawala at 4,000 points. 4,000 points Murtuza Vithodawala from Bangalore. Murtuza Vithodawala at 4,000 points. Hatimi, are you bidding for the player? 4,000 points Murtuza Vithodawala. Next, Abdul Qadir Sidpuri. Abdul Qadir Sidpuri at 4,000 points. Again from Bangalore, Abdul Qadir Sidpuri. 4,000 points. Burhani Chargers. Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes and Burhani Chargers. $4,000 points. The last name in the list, Murtuza A. Bambot from Bangalore at 4,000 points. Murtuza Bambot at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Murtuza Bambot. Any 2 Sundays. 4,000 points for Murtuza Bambot. Burhani Chargers. The bid is with Burhani Chargers at 4,000 points. Hatimi Hurricanes. 6,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi 8,000 for Burhani Chargers. Burhani Chargers at 8,000 points. Hatimi device a bid for 10,000. 10,000 for Murtuza Bambot. Currently at 8,000 with Burhani Chargers. 8,000 going once, 10,000 for Hatimi Hurricanes, 12,000 for Burhani Chargers, 12,000. The bid is with Burhani Chargers at 12,000. Do I see a bid for 14,000 points? 12,000 going once, 14,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 14,000 points. 14,000 points. Hatimi Hurricanes. Murtuza Bambot. Do I see a bid for 16? Do I see a bid for 16? 16,000 Burhani Chargers. Burhani Chargers at 16,000 points. Do I see a bid for 18,000? 18. 16 going once. Twice. Awarded to Burhani Chargers at 16,000 points. Murtuza Bambot is awarded to Burhani Chargers at 16,000 points. Hatimi Hurricanes, we like to select a player from the remaining. Baby Satya. 16. Hatimi Hurricanes. No. Yes. Hussain Kapasi. Hussein Kapasi at 4,000 points is awarded to Hatim Hurricanes. With Hussein Kapasi. Hussein Kapasi at 4,000 points, Hatim Hurricanes. Huh? With this, we come to the end of the second list.
पैंसठ वर्षों से देश के पहले और सबसे भरोसेमंद वेल्व्स, लीडर वेल्व्स, superior valves in the country. One of the top names which come to the mind is NVR.
की एक ही पहचान, ज़ोलैटो वाल्व्स, ज़ोलैटो वाल्व्स।
65 वर्षों से देश के पहले और सबसे भरोसेमंद valves, leader valves, superior valves in the country. One of the top names which come to the mind is NVR.
Everyone settled? We'll start the auction again. Everyone ready? No internet. We'll start. Okay. Okay, we'll start. The next list is for 5,000 points. All foreign players. Each team have to buy one player. Base value is 5,000 points. First name in the list is Huzefa Ajmerwala from Bangalore, very well known as Tiger. Huzefa Ajmerwala at 5,000 points. Dowdy Dashers. Dowdy Dashers have started the bid at 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Huzefa Ajmerwala. 7,500 for Safi Scotchers. 7,500 for Safi 10,000 for Dowdy Dashers. 10,000 for Dowdy Dashers. 12,500 for Hatimi Hurricanes. 15 for Safi Scotchers. 17,500 for Burhani Chargers. 20,000 for Safi Scotchers. Safi Scotchers at 20,000 points. Huzefa Tiger Ajmerwala, 20,000 points. Safi Scotchers. 22,500 Burhani Chargers. 25 Safi Scotchers. 27,500 Hussaini Warriors. 30,000 Safi Scotchers. Safi Scotchers at 30,000 points. 32,500 Dowdy Dashers. 35,000 Safi Scotchers. Safi Scotchers 37,500 for Burhani Chargers. 40,000 for Safi Scotchers. Safi Scotchers at 40k. Do I say bid for 42,500? Tiger. Tiger is not interested in Bangalore Tiger. 40,000 for Huzefa Ajmerwala. Safi Scotchers. 40 going once. 42,500 Tiger Tigers. Yes, Tigers are back. 42,500. 45,000 Safi Scotchers. 47,500 Tiger Tigers. Tiger Tigers at 47,500. Do I say a bid for 50,000? Safi Scotchers. Safi Scotchers 50,000 for Huzefa Ajmerwala. Adnan Bhai sharing his valuable knowledge. 50k. Safi Scotchers, do I see a bid for 50,000? 47,500 going once. Twice. Awarded to Tiger Tigers for 47,500. Huzefa Ajmerwala is awarded to Tiger Tigers for 47,500. Next, we have Huzefa Baksa from Coimbatore. Huzefa Baksa from Coimbatore. 5,000 points. Hussaini Warriors. The bid is with Hussaini Warriors at 5,000 points. Huzefa Baksa from Coimbatore. Just a reminder, he was the man of the series last time this tournament was held. Huzefa Baksa at 5,000 points. $5,000 points for Huzefa Baksa. Going once, Twice. 7,500. 10,000 for Hatim Hurricanes. Hatim Hurricanes at 10,000 points. 10,000 points. Hatim Hurricanes. Uzaifa Baksa. 12,500 for Hussaini Warriors. 12,500 for Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 12,500 points. Is there a bid for 15,000? 12,500. Going once. 15,000 for Safi Scotchers. 15,000 for Safi Scotchers. Uzaifa Baksa. Uzaifa Baksa at 15K. Man of the series. 15,000. Going once. 17,500 Hatim Hurricanes. Hatim Hurricanes 17,500. Do I say bid for 20,000? 17,500. The bid is with Hatim Hurricanes. 17,500 going once. Twice. 20,000 Safi Scotchers. Safi Scotchers at 20,000 points. 20,000 points. Do I say bid for 22,500? 20 going once. Twice. Awarded to Safi Scotchers at 20,000 points. Next we have Patel, Hussain Patel from Bangalore. Hussain Patel at 5,000 points. 5,000 points. 5,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 7,500 Dowdy Dashers. 7,500 Dowdy Dashers. 10,000 points for Hussain Patel. Hussain Patel, 10,000 points. Is there a bid for 10,000 points? 10,000 Hatim Hurricanes. Hatim Hurricanes at 10,000 points. 12,500. Is there a bid for 12,500? 10,000 points. Hatim Hurricanes. 12,500 for Dowdy Dashers. Dowdy Dashers at 12,500 points. 12,500 points. Dowdy Dashers. Going once. Twice. 15. 17,500 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors 17,500. 17,500 Hussaini Warriors. Hussain Patel. Do I say bid for 20,000? 20 Dowdy Dashers. Dowdy Dashers at 20K. 22,500 Hatimi. 22,500 for Hussain Patel. 20 going once. Twice. Awarded to Dowdy Dashers for 20,000 points. Next from Coimbatore, Mustansir Rohawala. Mustansir Rohawala at 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Mustansir Rohawala. Do I say bid for 5,000 points? 5,000 points for Mustansir Rohawala, Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 5,000. Do I say bid for 7,500? 7,500. 7,500 for Mustansir Rohawala. Going once. Twice. Awarded at 5,000 points to Hakimi Super Kings. Mustansir Rohawala for 5,000 points is awarded to Hakimi Super Kings. Uzaifa Patel. Uzaifa Patel at 5,000 points. From Coimbatore. Uzaifa Patel at 5. Burhani charges have started bid at 5. 7,500. 7,500 for Hussaini Warriors. 10,000 Burhani charges. 12,500 for Hatim Hurricanes. 15,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 15,000 points. Uzaifa Patel at 17,500 Hatim Hurricanes. 22,500 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 22,500 points. Do I say bid for 25? 25 Hatim Hurricanes. 27,500 Hussaini Warriors, 30,000 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 30,000 points. 32,500 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 32,500 points. 35 Hussaini Warriors, 37,500 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 37,500 points. 40,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi at 40,000 points. 40,000 points. Do I say bid for 42,500? Burhani. 42,500. 42,500 Burhani charges. 45,000 points. Do I say bid for 45,000 points? $45,000 points. Do I say bid for 45,000 points? The bid is with Burhani charges at 42,500. Bid is with Burhani charges at 42,500. 45,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 45,000 points. 45,000 points for Hatimi Hurricanes. 47,500. 47,500. 47,500 for Burhani charges. Do I say bid for 50? Can we break that barrier? Hatimi Hurricanes, 50K. You have the purse for that. 50,000 for Huzefa Patel. $47,500. 50,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 50,000 points for Huzefa Patel. Huzefa Patel at 50K for Hatimi Hurricanes. Do I say bid for 52,500? Burhani charges 52,500. You can spend more. 52,500 Burhani charges. 50 going once. 52,500 for Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 52,500. Do I say bid for 55,000 now? 55,000 for Huzefa Patel. Hatimi Hurricanes. Everyone saw Huzefa Patel hitting those youth sixes in Dubai T10 tournament. Come on, Hatimi Hurricanes. 55 for Hatimi Hurricanes. Do I say bid for 57,500 now? Come on, Burhani charges. 57,500. Look at the trophies he's holding. 57,500 Burhani charges. 57,500 for Burhani charges. 60 for Huzefa Patel. Do I see a bid for 60,000 now?
Is there a bank? Loan bank? No. There's 0% interest. With no interest.
Hatimi Hurricanes. Do I see a bid for 60,000 points? 60. 57,500 going once. Going twice. 60,000 points for Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 60,000 points. Hatimi Hurricanes at 60,000 points.
Now no trophies, no man of the series.
62,500. Only 2,500 points more and Huzefa Patel can be in your team.
He will take the man of the series.
60 going once. Twice. Awarded to Hatimi Hurricanes for 60,000 points. Every year Huzefa Patel holds the record for highest bidding. Okay, next we have Shakir Shabbir Kalangi from Bangalore at 5,000 points. The two teams left to bid are Hussaini Warriors and Burhani Chargers. Starting at 5,000 points for Shakir Kalangi. Do I say bid for 5,000 points? 5,000 points. Ali Asgar Koilanwala. Ali Asgar Koilanwala at 5,000 points. Do I say bid for Ali Asgar Koilanwala at 5,000 points? Hussaini Warriors have started to bid at 5,000 points for Ali Asgar Koilanwala. The other half of Coimbatore opening pair. 7-5, Burhani charges. 10 for Hussaini Warriors. 12-5. 15 for Hussaini 15, 17,500 Burhani charges. 20 for Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 20,000 points. 20,000 points, Hussaini Warriors. Do I say a bid for 22,500? 22,500 Burhani charges. 22,500 with Burhani charges. 25 with Hussaini Warriors. 27,500 Burhani charges. 30,000. 30,000 with Hussaini. 32,500. Burhani charges at 32,500 for Ali Asgar Koilanwala. 35 for Hussaini Warriors. 37,500 for Burhani charges. 40,000. Do I say bid for 40,000? 40 for Hussaini Warriors. 42,500 for Burhani charges. 42,500 for Burhani charges. Do I say bid for 45? 45 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 45. 47,500 for Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 47,500. I'm sorry, Hussaini Warriors, you cannot bid any further. So at 47,500, the player is awarded to Burhani charges. Shakir Kalangi at 5,000 points is awarded to Hussaini Warriors. With this, we come to the end of the third list. We'll have a 2 minutes break. What scores? No, we will not say. You can check that in the team's profile. Go to bplmadras.com, click on the team, it will.
Valves की एक ही पहचान Zonoto Valves, Zonoto Valves
65 वर्षों से देश के पहले और सबसे भरोसेमंद वेल्व्स, लीडर वेल्व्स, superior valves in the country. One of the top names which come to the mind is NVR.
All are from Chennai. We'll start the list with Ammar Madraswala. Ammar Madraswala. 1149, yes. Okay. Starting at 4,000 points. Ammar Madraswala at 4,000 points. Each team have to select 2 players. Follow the screen. Ammar Madraswala at 4,000 points. 4,000 points, Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches at 4,000 points. Do I see a bid for 6,000? 6,000 Madraswala. 4,000 going once. 6,000 Burhani charges. 8,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 8,000 points. Do I say a bid for 10,000? Do I say a bid for 10,000? The bid is with Burhani charges at 8,000 points. Sorry, Hussaini Warriors at 8,000 points. I'm sorry. Going once. 10,000 with Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 10,000 points. 12,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors, 12,000 points for Ammar Madraswala. Do I see a bid for 14,000? 12 going once. 14,000 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 14,000 points. 16. Do I see a bid for 16,000? The bid is with Burhani. 16,000 Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches at 16,000 points. Do I see a bid for 18? 18,000 for Ammar Madraswala. 16 going once. Twice. Awarded to Safi Scotches at 16,000 points. Murtuza Haji. Murtuza Haji at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Murtuza Haji. 4,000 points. Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 4,000. 6,000 Dowdy Dashers. Dowdy Dashers at 6,000 points. 8,000 Hussaini Warriors. 10,000 Burhani charges. 12,000 Hakimi Super Kings. 14,000 Dowdy Dashers. Dowdy Dashers at 14,000 points. 16 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 16. Do I say bid for 18,000? Do I say bid for 18,000? 18,000. Hussaini Warriors 16,000. Going once. Twice. Awarded to Hussaini Warriors at 16,000 points. Abiza Rangwala. Abiza Rangwala at 4,000 points. Abiza Rangwala at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Abiza Rangwala. Do I say bid for Abiza Rangwala at 4,000? 4,000 points for Abiza Rangwala. Abiza Rangwala at 4,000 points. Mustansir Madraswala. Mustansir Madraswala at 4,000 points. 4,000 points Dowdy Dashers. Dowdy Dashers at 4,000 points. Do I say a bid for 6,000? For Mustansir Madraswala. Our host for today, Mustansir Madraswala. 6,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 6,000 points. 8,000 Dowdy Dashers. 10,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 10,000 points. 12 for Dowdy Dashers. 12 for Dowdy Dashers. Do I say a bid for 14? Do I say a bid for 14,000? Hussaini Warriors, 14,000. The bid is with Dowdy Dashers. 12,000 going once. Twice. Awarded at 12,000 points to Dowdy Dashers. Murtuza Najmi. Murtuza Najmi starting at 4,000 points. Do I see a bid for Murtuza Najmi at 4,000 points? 4,000 points. Murtuza Najmi. Murtuza Najmi at 4,000 points. 4,000 points, Murtaza Najmi. Hussaini Warriors at 4,000 points. Do I see a bid for 6,000? 6,000 for Murtaza Najmi. Do I see a bid for Murtaza Najmi at 6,000 points? 4,000. Going once? Twice? Awarded to Hussaini Warriors at 4,000 points. Murtaza Najmi, Hussaini Warriors at 4,000 points. Hussaini Warriors. Two players, yes. Hussaini Warriors have selected 2 players. Next we have Huzaifa Raja. Huzaifa Raja at 4,000 points. Yusuf Leila, 4,000 points. 6,000 safety scotches, 8,000 dowdy dashes, 10,000 Burhani charges, 12 dowdy dashes, 14 safety scotches, 14 safety scotches. Safety scotches at 14. Do I say 16 Hakimi Super Kings? Hakimi Super Kings at 16. Do I say a bid for 18,000? 18 safety scotches, 20 Hakimi Super Kings, 22 safety scotches. Safety scotches at 22,000 points. Do I say a bid for 24? 24 Hakimi Super Kings, 26 Safi. They are coming back hard. Hakimi Super Kings. 28 Safi Scotches. 28,000 for Safi Scotches. Do I see a bid for 30,000? Safi Scotches, 30,000 dowdy dashes. 32 Safi Scotches. 32 Safi Scotches. The bid is with Safi Scotches at 32,000 points. Do I see a bid for 34? 32 for Safi Scotches. Going once? 34, 36 Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches at 36,000 points. They're just waiting for you to bid. 36,000 points, dowdy dashes. 36,000. Do I see a bid for 36,000? 36,000 points. Dowdy dashes. Do I see a bid for 36,000 points? Safi Scotches have Huzaifa Raja at 34 right now. Do I see a bid for 36? 34? Going once? Twice? Awarded to Safi Scotches at 34,000 points. $34,000 points for Huzaifa Raja. Next we have Huzaifa Lokhanwala. Huzaifa Lokhanwala, the Chennai Cheetah. Huzaifa Lokhanwala at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Huzaifa Lokhanwala. Do I see a bid for 4,000 points? Huzaifa Lokhanwala. Hakimi Super Kings. They have started the bid at 4,000. Do I see a bid for 6,000 now? 6,000 for Huzaifa Lokhanwala. 6,000 for Huzaifa Lokhanwala. Huzaifa Lokhanwala at 4,000 points. The bid is with Hakimi Super Kings. 4,000 going once. Twice. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings at 4,000 points. Hakimi Super Kings. Next, Mohammad Bhagat. Mohammad Bhagat at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Mohammad Bhagat. 4,000 points for Mohammad Bhagat. Do I see a bid for Mohammad Bhagat at 4,000 points? 4,000 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers have started 6,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 6,000 points. 6,000 points Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 8,000? Burhani charges? 6,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 8,000? 8,000 for Mohammad Bhagat. 8,000 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 8,000 points. Do I see a bid for 10,000? 10,000 points. 10,000 points. 8 going once. Twice. 10,000 points Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 10,000 points. Do I see a bid for 12? 12,000 for Mohammad Bhagat. Bid is with Hakimi Super Kings at 10k. 12,000 points for Mohammad Bhagat. Do I see a bid for 12,000? 10k going once. 12,000 Tyri Tigers. 12,000 points Tyri Tigers. Do I see a bid for 14,000 now? 14,000 for Mohammad Bhagat. Do I see a bid for 14,000? Tyri Tigers currently hold the bid at 12,000 points. 12 going once. 14 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 14,000 points. 16. 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for 16? Burhani charges. 14 going once. 16 Tyri Tigers. Tyri Tigers at 16,000 points. 16,000 points Tyri Tigers. Do I see a bid for 18? Hakimi Super Kings. 18,000 points. 16 going once. Twice. 18,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 18,000 points. Do I see a bid for 20? Do I see a bid for 20,000? The bid is currently with Hakimi Super Kings at 18,000. 18 going once. 20,000 Tyri Tigers. Tyri Tigers at 20,000 points. 20,000 points for Tyri Tigers. Do I say bid for 22? Mustafa interested? No. 20 going once. Twice. Awarded to Tyri Tigers at 20,000 points. Next we have Ammar Juzer. Ammar Juzer at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Ammar Juzer. Do I say bid for 4,000 points? 4,000 Dowdy Dashes. Dowdy Dashes has started the bid at 4,000 points. 6,000 Burhani charges. 8,000, 10,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 10,000 points. 12,000 for Dowdy Dashes. 14 for Burhani charges. Burhani charges 14,000 points for Ammar Juzer. Do I say 16 for Hakimi Super Kings? 18 for Dowdy Dashes. Dowdy Dashes at 18. 20 with Burhani charges. 22 for Dowdy Dashes. Dowdy Dashes at 22,000 points. 24 Hakimi Super Kings. 26 Burhani charges. 28 Dowdy Dashes. Dowdy Dashes at 28,000 points. Ammar Juzer at 28k. Dowdy Dashes. Do I say a bid for 30? 30,000 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 30,000 points. Burhani charges 30,000 points. Do I say a bid for 32? Do I say a bid for 32? 30,000 points Burhani charges. 32 Dowdy Dashes. Dowdy Dashes at 32,000 points. Do I say a bid for 34? 34 Hakimi. Burhani charges 34. 34 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 34,000 points. Dowdy Dashes. 34 Dowdy Dashes. Do I see a bid for 36 now? Burhani charges 36,000 points. Burhani charges 36. Do I see a bid for 36? Currently at 34 with Dowdy Dashes. Going once. Going twice. 36. 36 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 36. 38,000. 38,000 points Dowdy Dashes. Do I see a bid for 40 now? Do I see a bid for 40,000? 38 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Dowdy Dashes for 36,000 points. Next we have Taha Lokhanwala. Taha Lokhanwala at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Taha Lokhanwala. Do I say a bid for Taha Lokhanwala at 4,000 points? 4,000 points for Taha Lokhanwala. Taha Lokhanwala at 4,000 points. Moving on to the next player. Next on the list we have Mohammad Bambot. Mohammad Bambot at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Mohammad Bambot. Do I see a bid for Mohammad Bambot at 4,000 points? 4,000 Hakimi Super Kings. 6,000 Burhani charges. 8,000 Hakimi Super Kings. 10,000 Burhani, 12 Hakimi. 14 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 14. 16 Hakimi. Hakimi at 16,000 points. Do I see a bid for 18 now? 18,000. 18,000. 16 Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 18,000? Burhani charges. 16 going once. 18,000. Burhani charges are 18. 20,000 Hakimi Super Kings. 22 Burhani charges. 24 Hakimi. 26 Burhani charges. 28 Hakimi. 30,000 Burhani charges. 32 Hakimi. Hakimi at 32. Do I see a bid for 34,000 now? 34 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 34,000 points. Do I see a bid for 36? 34. Going once. Going twice. Awarded at 34,000 points to Burhani charges. Kusai Blue. Next we have Kusai Blue, starting at 4,000. 4,000 points for Kusai Blue. Do I see a bid for Kusai Blue at 4,000 points? 4,000 points for Kusai Blue. Kusai Blue at 4,000 points. Do I see a bid for Kusai Blue at 4,000 points? We'll move to the next player. Huzefa Adib. Huzefa Adib at 4,000 points. 4,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 4,000 points. Huzefa Adib, 4,000 points, Hatimi Hurricanes. Do I see a bid for 6,000? 6,000. Huzefa Adib at 4,000 points. Going once. 6,000 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 6,000 points. Huzefa Adib for 6,000 points. The bid is with Tahiri Tigers. Do I see a bid for 8,000 now? 6,000 going once. Twice. Awarded to Tahiri Tigers at 6,000 points. Next, Mohammad Koilanwala. Mohammad Koilanwala at 4,000 points. Mohammad Koilanwala at 4,000 points. Do I see a bid for Mohammad Koilanwala at 4,000 points? Mohammad Koilanwala at 4,000 points. Mohammad Koilanwala at 4,000 points. Every team has to select 2 players. This is a compulsory list. Everyone has to select 2 players. 4,000 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 4,000 points. Do I see a bid for 6? 4,000 Burhani charges. Going once. Going twice. Awarded to Burhani charges at 4,000 points. Mohammad Koilanwala. We have 3 players left. Again, I'll come back to Abizar Rangwala. Abizar Rangwala at 4,000 points. Do I see a bid for Abizar Rangwala at 4,000? Hatimi is yet to select any player from the list. Hatimi has to select 2 players and Burhani charges, right? Burhani charges 1 player. Hakimi Super Kings, one player. Okay. Abiza Rangwala at 4,000. Taha Lokhanwala. 4,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 4,000. 6,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. 8 Hakimi Super Kings. 8,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 10,000? Do I see a bid for 10,000? 8 going once. Going twice. The bid is with you only. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings at 8,000 points. Taha Lokhanwala is awarded to Hakimi Super Kings at 8,000 points. Abiza Rangwala and Kusai Blue at base value of 4,000 points are awarded to Hatimi Hurricanes. With this we come to the end of the fourth list.
वर्षों से देश के पहले और सबसे भरोसेमंद वेल्व्स, लीडर वेल्व्स, superior valves in the country. One of the top names which come to the mind is NVR.
The list base value is 2000 points, 21 players. Each team has to select 3 players. Please. List 5 2000 points. Every team has to select 3 players. First name on the list is Kusai Dinojwala. Kusai Dinojwala at 2000 points. Kusai Dinojwala. 2000 points Hussaini Warriors. 2000 points Hussaini Warriors. Do I see a bid for 3000? 2000 points. Going once? 3000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 3000 points. Do I see a bid for 4000? 3000. 4000 for Hussaini Warriors. 4000 Hussaini Warriors. Do I see a bid for 5000 now? 5000 for Kusai Dinojwala. Kusai Dinojwala at 5000. Do I see a bid for 5000? 4000 going once. 5000 Hatimi Hurricanes. 6000 Safi Scotchers. Safi Scotchers at 6000 points. 7000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 7000 points. Hussaini Warriors at 7000 points. Do I see a bid for 8? 7 going once. Going twice. Awarded. Awarded to Hussaini Warriors at 7000 points. Mohammad Raja at 2000 points. 2000 points Mohammad Raja. Hussaini Warriors. 2000 points Mohammad Raja. Do I see a bid for 3000? 3000 Dawoodi Dashers. Dawoodi at 3000 points. Do I see a bid for 4 now? 4000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 4000 points. 4000 points Hussaini Warriors. 5000 Hatimi Hurricanes. 5,000 points, Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 5,000 points. Going once, twice, 6,000, 7,000 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 7,000 points. Do I see a bid for 8,000? 7,000. The bid is with Tahiri Tigers at 7,000 points. Do I see a bid for 8? 7 going once. 8,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 8,000 points. 8,000 points Hussaini Warriors. Do I see a bid for 9,000? Do I see a bid for 9,000? 8,000 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Hussaini Warriors at 8,000 points. Next we have Hamza Vakharia. Hamza Vakharia at 2,000 points. 2,000 Hakimi Super Kings. 3,000 Dawoodi Dashers. 4,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 4,000. 5,000 Dawoodi Dashers. 6,000 Hakimi Super Kings. 6,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 7,000? 7,000. Do I see a bid for 7,000? 6 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings at 6,000 points. 6,000 points to Hakimi Super Kings. Next we have Ali Asgar Bharmal. Ali Asgar Bharmal at 2,000 points. 2,000 points. Dawoodi Dashers. 3,000 Burhani Chargers. Burhani Chargers at 3,000 points. Do I see a bid for 4? 4,000. 5,000 Dawoodi Dashers. Do I see a bid for 6,000? 6,000 for Ali Asgar Bharmal. 5,000 Dawoodi Dashers, 6,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 6,000 points. Do I see a bid for 7? 6,000 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Hatimi Hurricanes at 6,000 points. Ali Asgar Bharmal at 6,000 points is awarded to Hatimi Hurricanes. Next, Shabbir Madraswala at 2,000 points. Shabbir Madraswala at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for 2,000? Shabbir Madraswala, Dawoodi Dashers at 2,000 points. 3,000, 4,000 Tahiri Tigers. 5,000 Dawoodi Dashers. 6,000 Tahiri Tigers. 7,000 Hakimi Super Kings. 8,000 Hussaini Warriors. 9,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 9,000. 9,000. The bid is with Hakimi Super Kings at 9,000 points. Do I see a bid for 10,000? 10,000 Safi Scotchers. Safi Scotchers at 10,000 points. Safi Scotchers at 10,000 points. Do I see a bid for 11? 11 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 11,000 points. Hakimi Super Kings at 11,000 points. Do I see a bid for 12,000? The bid is with Hakimi Super King at 11,000. Shabbir Madraswala. 11 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings at 11,000 points. Next we have Mohammad Kothari. Mohammad Kothari at 2,000 points. 2,000 points for Mohammad Kothari. Mohammad Kothari at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for 2,000 points? Mohammad Kothari. Mohammad Kothari at 2,000 points. Next, Mustafa Asmarwala. Mustafa Asmarwala 2,000 points. Dawoodi Dashers. Do I see a bid for 3,000? Do I see a bid for 3,000? 3,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 3,000 points. 4,000 Safi Scotchers. 5,000 Dawoodi Dashers. Dawoodi Dashers at 5,000 points. 6,000 Safi Scotchers. Do I see a bid for 7? 7,000 points. The bid is with safety scotches at 6. 6 going once. Going twice. Awarded to safety scotches at 6,000 points. Next on the list, we have Huzefa Hakim. Huzefa Hakim at 2,000 points. Huzefa Hakim at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for 2,000? Huzefa Hakim. 2,000 safety scotches. Safety 3,000 Tayari Tigers. Tayari Tigers at 3,000 points. 4,000 Dawoodi Dashes. Dawoodi Dashes at 4,000. Do I see a bid for 5? 5,000 Tayari Tigers. Tayari Tigers at 5,000. 6. 6,000. Do I see a bid for 6,000? Safety scotches. 6,000 safety scotches. 7 now. 7 Tayari Tigers. Tayari Tigers at 7,000. Do I see a bid for 8? Do I see a bid for 8? The bid is with Tayari Tigers at 7,000. 7 going once. 8,000 safety scotches. 9,000 Tayari Tigers. Tayari Tigers at 9. 9,000 for Tayari Tigers. Do I see a bid for 10? 10,000. 9 going once. Going 10,000 safety scotches. 11,000 Tayari Tigers. 12,000 safety scotches. Safety scotches at 12,000 now. 12 going once. Going twice. Awarded to safety scotches at 12,000 points. £12,000 to safety scotches. Next, Yusuf Koilanwala. Yusuf Koilanwala at 2,000 points. 2,000 points Yusuf Koilanwala. Hatim Hurricanes at 2,000. Do I see a bid for 3? 3 Burhani charges. Burhani charges at 3,000. Do I see a bid for 4 now? 4,000. 4,000 for Yusuf Koilanwala. The bid currently stands with Burhani charges at 3. 3 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Burhani charges at 3,000 points. Ibrahim Rangwala. Yusuf Koilanwala. 3,000 points safety scotches. Sorry, Burhani charges. I'm sorry. Ibrahim Rangwala. Ibrahim Rangwala at 2,000 points. 2,000 Dawoodi Dashes. Do I see a bid for 3? 2,000 Dawoodi Dashes at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for 3,000? 2,000. 2,000 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Dawoodi Dashes at 2,000 points. Next on the list we have Yusuf Fidwi. Yusuf Fidwi at 2,000 points. 2,000 points for Yusuf Fidwi. Do I see a bid for Yusuf Fidwi at 2,000 points? 2,000 Dawoodi Dashes. Dawoodi Dashes at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid at 3,000? 3,000 for Yusuf Fidwi. 2,000 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Dawoodi Dashes at 2,000 points. We'll have a break as it's a namaz time. We'll have 10 minutes break. We'll continue after namaz.
Zoloto valves, Zoloto valves.
65 वर्षों से देश के पहले और सबसे भरोसेमंद वेल्व्स, लीडर वेल्व्स, superior valves in the country. One of the top names which come to the mind is NVR.
Valves की एक ही पहचान Zoloto valves, Zoloto valves.
65 वर्षों से देश के पहले और सबसे भरोसेमंद वेल्व्स, लीडर वेल्व्स, superior valves in the country. One of the top names which come to the mind is NVR.
Okay. Okay. Tahir Hamid, starting at 2,000 points. 2,000 points for Tahir Hamid. Do I see a bid for 2,000 points? Tahir Hamid at 2,000 points. Tahiri Tigers, 2,000 points for Tahir Hamid, sorry. 2,000 points for Tahir Hamid. Do I see a bid for 3,000? 2,000 going once? Going twice? Awarded to Tahiri Tigers at 2,000 points. Next on the list is Mufaddal Johar. Mufaddal Johar at 2,000 points. Mufaddal Johar 2,000 points. Burhani Chargers, Tahiri Tigers at 3,000. 3,000 Tahiri Tigers. Do I see a bid for 4? Do I see a bid for 4,000? 4,000 Safi Scotchers. 5,000 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 5,000 points. Do I see a bid for 6? 6,000 points. Do I see a bid for 6,000 points? 5,000 for Tahiri Tigers. 6,000 Safi Scotchers. 7,000 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 7,000 points. Do I see a bid for 8? Do I see a bid for 8,000? 8,000. Do I see a bid for 8,000? The bid is with Tahiri Tigers at 7. Tahiri Tigers 7,000. Going once? 8,000 Safi Scotchers. Safi Scotchers at 8,000 points. Do I see a bid for 9,000? Do I see a bid for 9? 8 going once? 9,000 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 9,000 points. 9,000 points for Tahiri Tigers. Do I see a bid for 10? 10,000. 9 going once? Going twice? Awarded to Tahiri Tigers at 9,000 points. Mufaddal Johar for 9,000 points is awarded to Tahiri Tigers. Next we have Hussain Dinojwala. Hussain Dinojwala at 2,000 points. 2,000 points Hussain Dinojwala. Do I see a bid for Hussain Dinojwala at 2,000 points? 2,000 points for Hussain Dinojwala. 2,000 points for Hussain Dinojwala. Hussain Dinojwala. Okay, we'll come back to him later. Next, Ali Asgar Guru. Ali Asgar Guru at 2,000 points. 2,000 points, Ali Asgar Guru. Do I see a bid for 2,000 points? 2,000 points for Ali Asgar Guru. Next we have Hussain Leelwala. Hussain Leelwala at 2,000 points. Burhani Chargers 2,000 points for Hussain Leelwala. Do I see a bid for 3? 3,000. 3,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 3,000 points. Do I see a bid for 4,000? Do I see a bid for 4,000? Oh, we can't bid. Okay, 3,000 points. The bid is with Hazimi Hurricanes. Do I see a bid for 4? 3 going once? Going twice? Awarded to Hazimi Hurricanes at 3,000 points. A huge applause for Hussain Leelwala. Huh? For Mohammed Africa also. No, he is a co-owner right now. He is not a player. He is the co-owner. Next, Hatimi Hurricanes. Okay, next on the list we have Hussain Jodiawala. Hussain Jodiawala at 2,000 points. 2,000 points Hussain Jodiawala. Do I see a bid for 2000? 2000 points for Hussein Jodiawala. Hussein Jodiawala at 2000 points. Do I see a bid for Hussein Jodiawala at 2000 points? Next we have Mustafa Marfatia. Marfatia at 2000 points. Mustafa Marfatia. Mustafa Marfatia at 2000 points. Do I see a bid for 2000 points? Mustafa Marfatia at 2000 points. $2,000 points for Mustafa Marfatia. Next, Murtaza Sunilwala at 2000 points. 2000 points Murtaza Sunilwala. Do I see a bid for Murtaza Sunilwala at 2000 points? Tahiri Tigers, 2000 points for Murtaza Sunilwala. Do I see a bid for 3000? Murtaza Sunilwala. Do I see a bid for 3000 points? 2000 going once, going twice. Awarded to Tahiri Tigers at 2000 points. Next on the list is Mustafa Saraya. Mustafa Saraya at 2000 points. Mustafa Saraya at 2000 points. 2000 points, Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 3000 for Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 4? 4000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 4000 points for Mustafa Saraya. Do I see a bid for 5? 5000 Hakimi Super Kings. 6000. Hussaini Warriors at 6. 7,000 for Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see 8,000 for Hussaini Warriors? 9 for Hakimi Super Kings. 10,000 for Hussaini Warriors. 11 for Hakimi. 12 for Hussaini Warriors. 13 for Hakimi. 14 for Hussaini Warriors. 14,000 for Hussaini Warriors. Do I see a bid for 15? 15 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 15,000 points. 16 for Hussaini Warriors. 17 for Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 18 now? 18 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors 18,000 points for Mustafa Saraya. 18 going once. 19,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 19,000 points. Do I see a bid for 20 now? 20,000. 20,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 20,000 points. Do I see a bid for 21 now? 20, 21 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 21. Do I see a bid for 22? 22 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 22,000 points. 23,000 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 23,000 points. You can't. 23,000 for Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 24? 23 going once, going twice. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings for 23,000 points. Next we have Hussain Kheraluwala. Hussain Kheraluwala at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for Hussain Kheraluwala at 2,000 points? Hussain Kheraluwala at 2,000 points. Time for the revenge. Huh? 2,000 points Hussain Kheraluwala. Burhani charges at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for 3,000? Do I say bid for 3,000? Going once? Twice? Awarded to Burhani charges at 2,000 points. 2,000. Base value. We'll come back to players who are unsold. Mohammad Kothariwala. Mohammad Kothariwala at 2,000 points. Mohammad Kothariwala at 2,000 points. Mohammad Kothari at 2,000 points. Mohammad Kothari at 2,000 points. Okay, next Hussain Dinojwala. Hussain Dinojwala at 2,000 points. Hussain Dinoj at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for 2,000 points? Burhani charges 2,000 points for Hussain Dinojwala. Do I see a bid for 3,000? 2,000 going once, twice. Awarded to Burhani charges at 2,000 points. Ali Asgar Guru. Ali Asgar Guru at 2,000 points. Safe scotches at 2,000 points for Ali Asgar Guru. Ali Asgar Guru for 2,000 points. Safe scotches. Do I see a bid for 3? 2 going once, twice. Awarded to Safe scotches at 2,000 points. Hussain Jodiawala at 2,000 points. Hussain Jodiawala at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for Hussain Jodiawala at 2,000 points? $2,000 points, Hussain Jodiawala. Dawoodi dashes at 2,000 points. Do I see a bid for 3,000? Do I see a bid for 3,000? 2,000 going once, twice. Awarded to Dawoodi dashes at 2,000 points. Mustafa Marfatia at 2,000 points. Mustafa Marfatia, 2,000. Hussaini Warriors, 2,000 points for Mustafa Marfatia. Do I see a bid for 3? 3,000. 2,000 going once, twice. Awarded to Hussaini Warriors at 2,000 points. Mohammad Kothari at 2,000 points is awarded to Hatimi Hurricanes. List 6. List 6, 1,000 points. Each team have to select 2 players. Base value is 1,000 points. First name in the list is Abbas Juzer Nandarbadwala. Nandarbadwala 1,000 points. 1,000 points for Abbas Nandarbadwala. Murtuza Kheralu. Murtuza Kheralu wala 1,000 points. Safi Scotches 1,000 points. Murtuza Kheralu wala. 1,500 Hatimi Hurricanes. 2,000 Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches at 2,000 points. 2,000 points. Safi Scotches. Do I see a bid for 2,500? 2,000 going once, going twice. Awarded to Safi Scotches at 2,000 points. Next, Murtuza Attari. Murtuza Attari at 1,000 points. Hatimi Hurricanes, 1,000 points. Do I see a bid for 1,500 Hussaini Warriors? Do I see a bid for 2,000? 1,500 Hussaini Warriors. The bid is with you. 1,500. Do I see a bid for 2,000? 2,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 2,000 points. 2,500 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 2,500 points. Do I see a bid for 3,000? 2,500. Going once. Going twice. 3,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. Do I see a bid for? Sorry, you cannot bid more than 2,500. The bid is with Hussaini Warriors at 2,500. 2,500. Going once. Going twice. Awarded to Hussaini Warriors at 2,500 points. Hussain Malwawala at 1,000 points. 1,000 points for Hussain Malwawala. Do I see a bid for 1,000 points? Hussain Malwa at 1,000 points. 1,000 points for Hussain Malwawala. Taizun Kapadia. Taizun Kapadia at 1,000 points. 1,000 points for Taizun Kapadia. Do I see a bid for 1,000 points? 1,000 points for Taizun Kapadia. Tahir Lehri. Tahir Lehri at 1,000 points. 1,000 points. Dawoodi Dashes. 1,500 Burhani charges. 2,000 Dawoodi Dashes. 2,000 Dawoodi Dashes. Do I see a bid for 2,500? 2,500 Hakimi Super Kings. 3,000 Dawoodi Dashes. 3,500 Safi Scotches. 4,000 Dawoodi Dashes. Dawoodi Dashes at 4,000 points. 4,500 Safi Scotches. 5,000 Dawoodi Dashes. 5,500 Safi Scotches. 6,000 Dawoodi Dashes. Dawoodi Dashes at 6,000 points. 6,500 Safi Scotches. 7,000 Dawoodi Dashes. 7,000 points. Do I see a bid for 7,500? 7 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Dawoodi Dashes for 7,000 points. Next, Mustafa Dasajwala. 1,000 points. Hatimi Hurricanes. 1,500 Tahiri Tigers. 1,500 Tahiri Tigers. Do I see a bid for 2,000? Do I see a bid for 2,000 points? 2,000 points. 1,500. Going once. 2,000 Hatimi Hurricanes. 2,500 Dawoodi Dashes. 3,000 Tahiri Tigers. 3,000 Tahiri Tigers. 3,500 Dawoodi Dashes. 4,000. 4,000 Tahiri Tigers. Do I see a bid for 4,500? 4,000. Going once. Twice. Awarded to Tahiri Tigers at 4,000 points. Huzaifa Zaveri at 1,000 points. 1,000 points. Hatimi Hurricanes. 1,000 points. Do I see a bid for 1,500 Dawoodi Dashes? 2,000 Hakimi Super Kings. 2,500 Dawoodi Dashes. Dawoodi Dashes at 2,500 points. Do I see a bid for 3,000? 2,500 with Dawoodi Dashes. 2,500. 3,000 Hakimi Super Kings. 3,500 Dawoodi Dashes. 3,500 going once. Twice. Awarded to Dawoodi Dashes at 3,500 points. He has no points left. That's it. Next, Murtuza Bhagat. Murtuza Bhagat at 1,000 points. Tahiri Tigers at 1,000 points for Murtuza Bhagat. 1,500 Hussaini Warriors, 2,000 Burhani Chargers, 2-5 Tahiri Tigers. 3,000 Hussaini Warriors, 3-5 Tahiri Tigers. $5,000 Hussaini Warriors. Tahiri Tigers 5-5? No. 5,000 Hussaini Warriors. The bid is with Hussaini Warriors at 5,000 points. Do I see a bid for 5-5? 5,000 going once? 5,500 Chefi Scotches. Do I see a bid for 6,000? 6,000 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors at 6,000. Do I see a bid for 6-5? 6-5 Chefi Scotches. Hussaini. 7,000. 7,000 for Hussaini Warriors. Do I see a bid for 7-5? 7 going once? Twice? 7-5 Chefi Scotches. 8,000 Hussaini Warriors. Do I see a bid for 8-5 now? 8-5. 8 going once, going twice. Awarded to Hussaini Warriors at 8,000 points. Next, Mustafa Lokhanwala. Mustafa Lokhanwala at 1,000 points. 1,000 points for Mustafa Lokhanwala. Do I see a bid for 1,000 points? 1,000 points. Mustafa Lokhanwala. 1,000 points. Only. 1,000 points. Juzer Haji. Juzer Haji at 1,000 points. Juzer Haji at 1,000 points. 1,000 points. Juzer Haji. Hakimi Super Kings at 1,000 points. Hakimi Super Kings at 1,000 points. Do I see a bid for 1,500? 1,500. 1,000 going once, twice. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings at 1,000 points. Juzer Haji. Murtuza Haji for 1,000 points. 1,000 points. Burhani Chargers. Tahiri Tigers at 1,500. Murtuza Haji 1,500. 2,000 Burhani Chargers. 2,500 Tahiri Tigers. 2,500 Tahiri Tigers. Do I see a bid for 3,000? 2-5. Going once. 3,000 Chefi Scotches. 3,500 Tahiri Tigers. Do you have a bid for 4,000? 4,000 Chefi Scotches. 4-5 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 4,500 points. 4,500 Tahiri Tigers. 5,000 Chefi Scotches at 5,000. 5,000 going once, twice. Awarded to Chefi Scotches for 5,000 points. Next, Burhanuddin Madraswala. 5,000 Chefi Scotches. Last. Next, we have Burhanuddin Madraswala. Starting at 1,000 points. 1,000 points for Burhanuddin Madraswala. Do I see a bid for Burhanuddin Madraswala at 1,000 points? Hussaini Warriors at 1,000 points. Selected 2 players. Burhanuddin Madraswala at 1,000 points. 1000 points for Burhani Madras wala. Next, Yusuf Mithai wala. Yusuf Mithai wala at 1000 points. Yusuf Mithai wala at 1000 points. Burhani charges 1000 points for Yusuf Mithai wala. Do I see a bid for 1500? 1500. 1000 going once, twice. Awarded to Burhani charges at 1000 points. Abbas Nandarbadwala. Abbas Nandarbadwala at 1000 points. Abbas Nandarbadwala at 1000 points. Tahiri Tigers, 1000 points for Abbas Nandarbadwala. Abbas Nandarbadwala, 1000 points. Going once. 1500. Burhani charges. 1500. 2000 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 2000 points. Do I see a bid for 25? 25. 2000 going once. Twice. 25 Hakimi Super Kings. 3000 Tahiri Tigers. Tahiri Tigers at 3000. Do I see a bid for 35? 3000 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Tahiri Tigers at 3000 points. Abbas Nandarbadwala. Hussain Malwawala at 1000 points. Hatim Hurricanes at 1000 points for Hussain Malwawala. Do I see a bid for 1005? 1005. 1000 going once. Going twice. I'm sorry, but he is awarded to Hatim Hurricanes. Hussain Malwawala 1000 points. Hatim Hurricanes. Taizun Kapadia at 1000 points. Burhani charges and Hakimi Super Kings. 1000 points. Burhani charges. 1500 Hakimi Super Kings. 2000 Burhani charges. 2500. He is awarded to Hakimi Super Kings for 2500 points. Taizun Kapadia. Burhan Madraswala at, sorry. You have not selected any one player also. Okay, we have two players left. Mustafa Lokhanwala. Mustafa Lokhanwala at 1000 points. Hatimi and Burhani charges are yet to pick one player. Mustafa Lokhan at 1000 points. Mustafa Lokhan at 1000 points. Burhani charges at 1000 points. Once, twice. Awarded. Mustafa Lokhan. 1000 points to Burhani charges. Burhanuddin Madraswala at 1000 points is awarded to Hatim Hurricanes. Moving on. This is the last list. This list is worth 500 points. Each team has to select two players. 500 points. Starting with Mustafa Hussain. Starting with Mustafa Hussain at 500 points. 500 points for Mustafa Hussain. Do I see a bid for 500 points? Each team has to select two players. Abbas Attarwala at 500 points. Abbas Attarwala at 500 points. Hussaini Warriors, Abbas Attarwala at 500 points. By Abbas 70 wala. Abbas 70 wala at 500 points. The bid is with Hussaini Warriors. Do I see a bid for 750? 500. Going once. Going twice. Awarded to Hussaini Warriors at 500 points. Khadir Izzi. Khadir Izzi at 500 points. Tahiri Tigers, 500 points for Khadir Izzi. Do I see a bid for 750? 750 for Khadir Izzi. 750 Hakimi Super Kings. Do I see a bid for 1000? 1000 points Tahiri Tigers. 1250 Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi. 1000. The bid is with Tahiri Tigers at 1000 points. The bid is with Tahiri Tigers at 1000 points. Going once, twice. Awarded to Tahiri Tigers at 1000 points. Hamza Zohair Lal. Tahiri Tigers were awarded Khadir Izzi for 1000 points. Next we have Hamza Zohair Lal at 500 points. Hamza Lal at 500 points. Do I say bid for 500? 500 points. Just the base value, 500 points. Tahir Disawala at 500 points. At 500 points, Tahir Disawala. Tahir Disawala at 500 points. Huzefa Kesaria. Huzefa Kesaria at 500 points. 500 points for Huzefa Kesaria. Abbas Pindwarawala. Abbas Pindwarawala at 500 points. Hakimi Super Kings. 500 points for Abbas Pindwarawala. Do I see a bid for 750? 500 going once. Twice. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings for 500 points. Nuruddin Najmi. Nuruddin Najmi at 500 points. Nuruddin Najmi. 500 points for Nuruddin Najmi. Do I see a bid for 500 points? Tahir Totanawala. Tahir Totanawala at 500 points. 500 points for Tahir Hatimi Hurricanes. 500 points. Do I see a bid for 750? 750. 500. 500 going once. 750 Fakhruddin. Sorry. Burhani charges. Burhani charges 750 points. Do I see a bid for 1000? 750 going once. 1000 Hatimi Hurricanes. 1000 going once. Going twice. Awarded to Hatimi Hurricanes for 1000 points. Shabbir Akbari. Shabbir Akbari at 500 points. Tahiri Tigers at 500 points for Shabbir Akbari. Do I see a bid for 500 points? Shabbir Akbari. Shabbir Akbari. 750 Safi Scotches. 1000 Tahiri Tigers. 1250 Safi Scotches. No, it is showing 2000. Achha, player. You have bought one player in this list? So now your list is reduced. It is 1000. Okay. 1750 Safi Scotches. 2000 Hussaini Warriors. Shabbir Akbari. 2000. Going once, twice. 2250 Safi Scotches. 2500 Hussaini Warriors. Hussaini Warriors 2500 points. 2501 2. Awarded to Hussaini Warriors for 2,500 points. Shabbir Akbari, 2,500 points, awarded to Hussaini Warriors. Burhanuddin Vadgamwala at 500 points. Dowdy Dashers, 500 points for Burhanuddin Vadgamwala. 750 Hatimi Hurricanes. Dowdy Dashers, 1,000 points. 1,000 points for Dowdy Dashers. 1,250. 1,250. Do I see 1,250 Tahiri Tigers? Tahiri Tigers at 1,500 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 1,500. 1,500 with Hatimi Hurricanes. Do I see a bid for 1,750? 1,500 going once, twice. 1,750. 1,750. Safety scotches. Do I see a bid for 2,000? You have to calculate that. You cannot say them. They have to calculate. 1,750. Bid is with safety scotches at 1,750. Going once, twice. Awarded to safety scotches at 1,750 points. Burhanuddin Vadgamwala. Murtuza Lokhanwala at 500 points. 500 points for Murtuza Lokhanwala. Do I see a bid for 500 points? 500 points for Murtuza Lokhanwala. Murtuza Lokhanwala. 500 points. 500 points. Murtuza Patta at 500 points. 500 points. Dowdy Dashers, 500 points. 500 points. Dowdy Dashers. Do I see a bid for 750? 500 points. Going once, twice. Awarded to Dowdy Dashers at 500 points. Yusuf Barodawala at 500 points. Yusuf Barodawala at 500 points. Yusuf Barodawala at 500 points. Do I see a bid for 500? 500. Yusuf Barodawala. Burhanuddin Lokhanwala at 500 points. Burhanuddin Lokhanwala at 500 points. Burhanuddin Lokhanwala at 500 points. Do I see a bid for Burhanuddin Lokhanwala at 500? Murtuza Sabuwala at 500 points. Murtuza Sabuwala at 500 points. 500 points for Murtuza Sabuwala. Murtuza Sabuwala at 500 points. Mustafa Madraswala at 500 points. Mustafa Madraswala at 500 points. 500 points for Mustafa Madraswala. Mustafa Madraswala, 500 points. Mohammad Sirohiwala at 500 points. Mohammad Sirohiwala at 500 points. Do I see a bid for Mohammad Sirohiwala? 500 points. 500 points. Abdul Haji at 500 points. Abdul Haji at 500 points. 500 points for Abdul Haji. Ali Zainul Abidin Fidwi. Abdul Haji, okay. Tahiri Tigers are bidding for Abdul Haji at 500 points. 500 points for Abdul Haji. 750 Hatimi Hurricanes. Hatimi Hurricanes at 750. Going once. Going twice. Awarded to Hatimi Hurricanes at 750 points. Abidin Fidwi at 500 points. Ali Zainul Abidin Fidwi at 500 points. Ali Zainul Abidin Fidwi at 500 points. Moiz Attari at 500 points. Moiz Attari at 500 points. Do I see a bid for 500 points? Moiz Attari. Moiz Attari at 500 points. Murtuza Bambot at 500 points. Murtuza Bambot at 500 points. Do I see a bid for 500 points? Murtuza Bambot. Hakimi Super Kings, 500 points. 750 Safi Scotches. 750 Safi Scotches. The bid is with Safi Scotches at 750. Do I see a bid for 1000 points? 1000 points, Hakimi Super Kings. Hakimi Super Kings at 1000 points. Do I see a bid for 1250? 1250 Safi Scotches. Safi Scotches 1250 going once, twice. Awarded to Safi Scotches at 1250 points. The last name on the list, Mansoor Zakir at 500 points. Tahiri Tigers 500 points, Mansoor Zakir. 750, 1000 points, Tahiri Tigers. 1250 Burhani Chargers, 1500 Tahiri Tigers. 1500 Tahiri Tigers, Mansoor Zakir. Going 1750 Burhani Chargers. You cannot bid, maximum bid is 1500 for you. It is with you, the bid is with you only. I am saying that he cannot bid. 1500 going once, twice. Awarded to Tahiri Tigers for 1500 points. We'll start with Mustafa Hussain again. Mustafa Hussain at 500 points. Burhani Chargers, Dawoodi Dashers and Hakimi Super Kings. Mustafa Hussain at 500 points. Hamza Lal at 500 points. Hamza Lal at 500 points. Tahir Disawala at 500 points. Tahir Disawala at 500 points. Tahir Disawala at 500 points. Huzefa Kesaria. Huzefa Kesaria at 500 points. Huzefa Kesaria at 500 points. You have to complete your team. Huzefa Kesaria at 500 points. Nuruddin Najmi. Nuruddin Najmi at 500. Burhani Chargers 500 points for Nuruddin Najmi. Nuruddin Najmi 500 points. 500 points. Going once, twice. Awarded to Burhani Chargers at 500 points. Nuruddin Najmi. Murtuza Lokhanwala at 500 points. Murtuza Lokhanwala at 500 points. Murtuza Lokhanwala. Murtuza Lokhanwala at 500 points. Yusuf Barodawala at 500 points. Yusuf Barodawala at 500 points. Yusuf Baroda at 500 points. Burhanuddin Lokhanwala, 500 points. Burhanuddin Lokhanwala at 500 points. 1129. Burhanuddin Lokhanwala, 500 points. Murtuza Sabuwala, 500 points. Murtuza Sabuwala, 500 points. We still have 3 players to be selected. Murtuza Sabuwala at 500 points. 1200, 1200. Murtuza Sabuwala at 500 points. 1237, Mustafa Madras. 1237, Mustafa Madraswala for 500 points. Yes. Hatimi Hurricanes. Mustafa Madraswala, 500 points. Hakimi Super Kings at 500 points. Going once, twice. Awarded to Hakimi Super Kings at 500 points. Ali Zainul Abidin Fidwi at 500 points. Ali Zainul Abidin Fidwi at 500 points. Dowdy Dashers at 500 points. Do I see a bid for 750? 500 going once, twice. Awarded to Dowdy Dashers at 500 points. Ali Zainul Abidin Fidwi. I'll call out the names. Mustafa Hussain. Mustafa Hussain. Hamza Lal. Tahir Disawala. Huzefa Kesaria. Tahir 1155. 55. This one. Tahir Disawala. Burhani charges select Tahir Disawala at 500 points. With this, we come to the end of the auction. We hope all the captains have got their best team. All the best for the tournament. We request all the captains to stay back here. Thank you.
Thank you, Hatim Bhai. It was a great auction. Well, to all the gentlemen present here, I would like to say that an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires a lot of planning and motivation. So I want to state that we are all most grateful to all the auctioneers, captains, sponsors, and participants of the event. We thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you to captains for selecting the best team. And all the best to all the teams for the upcoming tournament. It was great pleasure spending the evening with you all. Thank you so much. Muzaffar.
बैठ लगा ये बड़ो लेने जाया जमा बिला